Leaders of the world's advanced democracies are set to unleash new sanctions against Russia at a Group of 7 summit starting in Hiroshima in Japan today. Let's cross over to our correspondent in Japan, Chris Gilbert, to discuss the summit further. Chris, good morning to you. Now we know South Africa was not invited to the summit. So who is actually representing South Africa, or should we say, is it a representative of Africa? As far as I know, it's an African Union representative that has been invited.
That's quite right. It is an African Union representative that's been invited, and Japan believing that it is, just as good to represent one person, to represent all of Africa, as it is to invite independent countries from throughout Africa, such as South Africa. But the catch to that is that there are independent countries. There are other parts of the world who are coming, such as South Africa, Indonesia, Vietnam, Australia, who are all part of, the Indo-Pacific, the so-called Indo-Pacific construction, which Japan came up with to include at the African continent as well. It's very interesting considering there are also 2 other BRICS members, allies in the BRICS alliance with South Africa are coming in the form of Brazil and India, but no South Africa, and questions remain still about why that decision has been made. There is a lot of speculation about why that decision has been made. I've asked political experts here in Tokyo, leaders in their field, and they say, honestly, we don't know either. It is a speculation, maybe from U.S. pressure, they say, to, I guess, exclude South Africa over allegations that have been made over the last week or so about funneling weapons to Russia over the war in Ukraine. But before that, even participating in military exercises with Russia and China during the first anniversary of the invasion. Now, South Africa responded to that, saying, well, it's our right to hold military exercises just as it is any other country's right. But this G7 is particularly focused and bloody-minded on unwavering support for Ukraine and unwavering condemnation of Russia. That is what it is looking to sow. And so the speculation is that maybe South Africa may, over its neutrality over the war, may in fact be a couple of steps in the wrong direction for Japan, the US, and the G7's liking.
Just looking at the issue, because as you say, there's this unwavering support that is going to be shown toward the Ukraine. But, South Africa in the midst of a whole situation with regard to whether the country did or did not export arms to Russia in a ship that was docked here at one of our ports. So is this going to be an issue up for discussion as well?
Well, I don't know if it will be directly discussed, but certainly the issue of support for Russia and really countries or third parties which have not been named, which are allegedly helping Russia, continue the war in Ukraine. That is definitely going to be discussed. In fact, it's already been discussed about, there's been a statement in the Japanese press here about how it's expected that the separate statement on Ukraine is going to call for a further crackdown on countries that are helping Russia to evade sanctions that the G7 desperately wants to keep in place to really put the boot down and suffocate it of resources that it needs to continue the war. It wants an immediate withdrawal. And so the focus is very much on who or what parties are assisting Russia to continue the war and how they can be stopped going forward.
Let's leave it there for now, and certainly be crossing in and out to this and to you throughout the duration of the G7 summit. Thanks very much. That, of course, is Chris Gilbert, our correspondent out and about in Japan, giving us an update.